Alright, I decided to go ahead and do one. It's not going to be a long one, but I just left the school to head to my appointment. Probably going to stop and get some lunch first because I'm hungry. And the appointment's not till 2 o'clock. But, one thing that I don't think I've mentioned is every Friday I draw a picture on the whiteboard. It's usually, I think I may have mentioned it, cartoon character or comic strip or something like that. Usually something the kids will identify with. Not always. Sometimes it's just one for me that I feel like is fun. But I usually attach some sort of pun or funny saying to the picture. Today, I drew Papa Smurf with his red hat and pants and fluffy white beard. Kind of the Santa Claus of the Smurf community, if you will. And I just wrote, have a Smurf-tastic weekend on it. Kind of to make it the saying. But the meaning behind it was we are taking a field trip later in the month to see the new Smurfs movie, The Smurfs: The Lost Village. The issue is, I've been calling around, scheduling with the movie theater, and then afterward we want to take the kids to mini golf, and mini golf isn't that far from the movie theater, but the issue is they're not affiliated with one another, so their availability is not necessarily the same. So somebody might be available one day, but the other company might be booked for that day. Oh, I also have to stop and get gas. Don't let me forget to do that. So this video may be shorter than I even intended, but excuse me. So I scheduled the event, or the field trip, for April 20th to go to the movie theater and to mini golf. Well, one of my colleagues called the bus garage to schedule pickup and transportation, and they said, we're not available that day. We already have another field trip to do. And so I'm just kind of like, well, argue with them. You know? Because here's the thing. The dismissal process at our school is not the most efficient. I've talked about that before. But there was a day earlier this week that one of my groups of kids that rides one of the buses that's usually there first, it's bus 2, is usually there first, but that bus had to take either a track team or a scholastic bowl team or something to some event and then come back for the kids to take them home. And they were there well past their scheduled departure time. Like, most days, all the kids are out of my room and on their way homes by like 10 after 3 or 3:15 at the latest. These kids were there until at least like 3:40, about a half hour after they usually are, because the bus had to take them somewhere else. Well, the issue with transportation for our bus is that there's already another class, I think it's the first graders, are going on a trip that day, and they only have a certain amount of buses available for field trips. But we're going to be back before the end of the day, at least before our end of the day. The high school and junior high dismiss earlier than us because they start earlier than us, and the buses need to be back for them too. So us being back at 2:30 is not going to work out, and the bus garage is basically just like, no. So instead of arguing with them, we just changed the date. Well, then I had to call the movie theater and the bowling, or the mini golf course, and hope that they were available for the new date, and both of them were available for the new date. It worked out fine. We got it rescheduled, but we also had already typed up, printed out, and copied off the permission slip with the original date of the 20th. So that was kind of inconvenient. So I just handed them out to the kids. I said, hey, cross off this date and write in the new one. And we all did. We got it taken care of. It's no big deal. We're set for the 24th. Having a field trip on a Monday is not the most ideal, but it worked out. Nothing's wrong. Everybody's going to get to go and enjoy the time at the theater and golf course. So, I'm about to the gas station. I'm going to pull off here and put some gas in my car, and then I'm headed to get some lunch and go to the doctor. The cardiologist, as it were. So, actually, I'm not going to go to this gas station because they're doing some construction work and it's not going to be convenient. So that's it for my day. Headed into the weekend. Again, I apologize for not having an afternoon video yesterday. I'll try to stay back on track. That's why I wanted to give you guys this one, even though it's pretty short. And I say you guys, but really, who's watching? Honestly. Maybe it'll be a couple years and I'll have maybe 10 views. We'll see. Alright, I'll be back Monday morning. Have a good weekend.